Before believing that all seniors over 65 are exempt from property tax, Medicare premium, or federal taxes, there's one question that comes before all others. Which state do you live in? A viral promise might seem like a relief, but it can also lead to confusion. It can cause you to miss deadlines, fill out forms incorrectly, ignore income limits, or worse, confuse exemption with deferral. Exemption is not the same thing as deferral. The central point is simple. No rule for seniors should be assumed just because it appeared in a video. You need to check 5 things: state, county, income, correct program, and official deadline. Federal doesn't mean automatic, senior doesn't mean always eligible. And your county may matter more than a viral headline. Perhaps you've heard someone say that senior citizens no longer need to pay certain bills. Maybe you've thought, have I been paying incorrectly for years? Or perhaps you called the Treasury Department and were told that wasn't true. Today I'm not going to sell easy promises. I'm going to show you how to distinguish a genuine exemption from a dangerous one. If you want fact checks on senior benefits and Medicare, sign up now. Here we separate viral promises from real rules. The right question isn't does every senior citizen have this right? The right question is, what program exists where I live, who administers it, and what form proves that I qualify? The right answer can save you money, but the wrong question can be costly. A person in Texas, nearing 80 years old, recounted how they had to receive the form in the mail, read it, sign it, go to the notary to have it notarized, and then take it to the courthouse. They said they would go using a cane. This isn't laziness. It's bureaucracy for someone who has paid property tax for decades. Another person in Colorado said they lost years of discounts because they didn't know they needed to apply before the deadline. Older friends also lost years. The pain wasn't just money. It was the feeling of being left in the dark. And the same question arises. What about California? What about Pennsylvania? What about Idaho? What about Oregon? What about Arizona? What about Ohio? What about Michigan? This is the central error of viral videos. They talk as if the United States were a single system. But for seniors, retirees, and people on Medicare, a lot depends on the state, the county, income, housing, deadline, and the right form. There are also those who called the Treasury Department and were told that the exemption didn't exist. Some inquired about the rent limit. And some are suspicious of deferral, because postponement can turn into debt, interest, or problems for heirs. So, the problem isn't a lack of interest from the elderly. The problem is promises that are too generic. When someone says seniors are exempt, ask, exempt from what, in which state, by which agency, with which form, within what time frame, and under what criteria. Medicare is federal, but many programs that help pay for Medicare are administered by the state. Property tax almost always goes through the county assessor, treasurer, or tax collector. Federal tax deductions, on the other hand, go through the tax return and the IRS. Second question, are they promising exemption, deduction, credit, freeze, discount, rebate, or deferral? These words may seem the same to those who just want to pay less, but they are not. Exemption can reduce part of the tax base. Deduction can reduce taxable income. Credit can offset tax. Freeze can freeze the amount used to calculate the bill. Discount can be partial, rebate can refund a portion, and deferral does not erase the bill, deferral postpones it. Exemption is not the same thing as postponement. Third question, are there income limits, minimum age requirements, disability requirements, veteran status requirements, primary residence requirements, or time limits? Senior does not always mean eligible. In some places, age is enough. In others, income is the deciding factor. In others, it only applies to homesteaders, primary residences, widows, widowers, people with disabilities, or veterans. And in many cases, missing the deadline means losing that year. Fourth question, where is the official form and which agency processes it? Don't trust strange comments, ads, calls, or links. Look for the official website, call the correct organization, and ask for the exact name of the program. The right question can protect more than the right rumor can encourage. Your county matters more than a viral headline. Now let's look at the 5 types of viral promises that most confuse seniors. The first point concerns property tax. There may be homestead exemption, senior exemption, assessment freeze, tax ceiling, or deferral. It may be real, it may be valuable, but it's not universal. In one county, the rule may reduce part of the value. In another, you may freeze the bill. In another, it may only postpone payment. And here's the danger: deferral is not forgiveness. Deferral can turn into a lien against the house, future debt, interest, or collection when the property is sold. Before signing, ask what happens. The second promise is about the Medicare Part B premium. There are Medicare savings programs that can help some people pay this cost. But that doesn't mean everyone over 65 has the premium paid by the state. It can depend on income, state rules, and proper enforcement. It may be real, it may be valuable, but it's not universal. The third point concerns prescription drugs and extra help. This program can reduce Part D costs, medications, deductibles, and co-pays. But it needs to qualify. The limits change. The source must be official. Don't give your data to someone promising to activate it. The fourth point is about federal taxes. There are tax rules for people over 65, but that doesn't mean all seniors stop paying taxes. It depends on income, filing status, Social Security, pension, IRA, employment, and withholding. Deductions aren't free checks. Federal does not mean automatic. The fifth point concerns utility bills, phone, internet, and local discounts. Lifeline, LIHEAP, and state programs can help, but they have criteria: income, address, account in the correct name, or annual enrollment. So remember this phrase: it may be real, it may be valuable, but it's not universal. If someone says this applies to all states, please like this post so the alert reaches more seniors. Comment only with your status, without personal information, so I know which statuses need fact-checking. Imagine 3 common situations. Mary is 79 years old and lives in Texas. She saw a video saying that seniors no longer need to pay property tax. For a few minutes, she felt relieved. Then came the fear: if I stop paying, could I lose my house? This fear is justified. Fact-checking doesn't start by saying pay or don't pay. You start by asking, does Mary own a homestead? Has she applied for an over 65 exemption? Is there a tax ceiling in her district? What they offered was a reduction, a freeze, or deferral. And if it's deferral, does it become debt? Does it accrue interest? Does it create a lien on the house? Does it affect heirs? For Mary, the right question isn't am I exempt? It's, what program exists in my county, which agency administers it, and what form proves that I qualify? Robert is 67 years old and lives in Colorado. He worked his whole life, paid for his house, paid his taxes, and thought the senior citizen discount would automatically apply when he reached retirement age. It didn't. When he finally inquired, he discovered there was a deadline, application process, and local regulations. He lost 2 years, and the most painful part wasn't just the money. It was thinking, why didn't anyone tell me? That's the cost of a poorly explained viral promise. It makes it seem like the right appears automatically. But often, the benefit only exists after you apply under the correct name, at the correct agency, before the correct deadline. Now consider Linda, 72, in Washington. She heard, my state doesn't have state income tax, so none of this applies to me. Wrong. Not having state income tax doesn't answer about property tax. It doesn't answer about Medicare savings program. It doesn't answer about utility bill assistance. It doesn't answer about federal taxes. And it doesn't answer whether her county has a specific program for seniors, people with disabilities, or low-income individuals. Mary was tired. Robert felt deceived. Linda was confused. 3 different stories, one same lesson. Don't use the word exempt as a final answer. Use it as a starting point. Asking the right question can save time, money, and embarrassment. Ask, what program exists in my state? Which agency administers it? What is the deadline? What documents do I need to bring? And what written confirmation can I keep? This is the fact check that protects. Do not use advertisements. Do not use comment links. On day 2, call the advisor and ask, what property tax programs are available for someone of my age, income, and homestead situation? Then ask for the name of the form and the deadline. On day 3, go to your local SHIP office. Ask for a screening from Medicare Savings Program and extra help. Don't just say, "Am I eligible?" Ask what limits apply in your state this year. On day 4, check your Social Security, Medicare premium discount, and your Part D costs. You need to know what comes out each month before you know what you can go down. On day 5, gather the following documents: ID, proof of age, proof of address, income documents, tax bill, house deed if applicable, and Social Security letter. On day 6, seek free tax assistance from organizations like VITA, TC, or AARP TaxAid. Ask if your senior deductions have been applied and if your withholding makes sense. On the 7th day, check deadlines, save copies, and request written confirmation. Never provide your Social Security number, income, address, or documents via links in comments, ads, or private messages. Legitimate benefits have official sources. Scams also use official terminology. The difference lies in where you click and who you give your information to. A viral promise might open your eyes, but only your state, your county, and official forms can confirm your entitlement. Don't assume it's fake just because a customer service representative responded quickly. But also don't assume it's true just because a video spoke confidently about it. Ask for the program name. Ask for the application form. Ask for the deadline. Ask about the income, age, residency, disability, veteran status, or homestead criteria. And when possible, ask for written confirmation or save the official page. If someone says all seniors are exempt, stop. Exempt from what? In which state? In which county? For which account? By which rule? In which fiscal year? That's the difference between protection and a promise. A promise excites you for a few minutes. Verification can protect your home, your checks, and your documents. And remember this: a deduction isn't a free check. A freeze isn't the same as forgiveness. Deferral can be future debt. And real benefit never requires you to urgently hand over data in a strange link in a comment, private message, or ad. This video is for general education purposes only and is not individual legal, tax, or financial advice. Rules vary by state, county, income, and tax year. Always confirm with official sources or a qualified professional. Comment only with your relationship status. Never include your Social Security number, rental address, physical address, or personal information in the comments. If this video helped you to be wary of automated promises, please like it so this warning reaches more people over 65. Watch the video that's appearing on the screen, because in it I show you how to check benefits for seniors without falling for viral promises or incorrect forms.